Good evening or good morning. It's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. Thank you for joining me here at End Times Prophecy News. The 4 reasons why this time the U.S. practice bombing run near North Korea are different. A recent analysis has noted 4 reasons why this training sortie near North Korea was different this time, from Zero Hedge. Just before North Korea's foreign minister was due to address the United Nations, the Pentagon announced that U.S. Air Force B-1B Lancer bombers escorted by fighter jets flew in international airspace over waters east of North Korea on Saturday in a show of force, which demonstrated the range of military options available to President Donald Trump. The flight was the farthest north of the demilitarized zone separating North and South Korea that any U.S. fighter jet or bomber has flown in the 21st century, the Pentagon added. According to Reuters, the B-1B Lancers came from Guam and the U.S. Air Force F-15C Eagle fighter escorts came from Okinawa, Japan. The Pentagon said the operation showed the seriousness with which it took North Korea's reckless behavior. Quote, "This mission is a demonstration of U.S. resolve and a clear message that the president has many military options to defeat any threat," said Pentagon spokeswoman Dana White, calling North Korea's weapons program a grave threat, adding that we are prepared to use the full range of military capabilities to defend the U.S. homeland and our allies. What we need to do is we need to shoot down the next rocket that goes up before it even gets going, and let it fall on Kim Jong-un's head. That's what it needs to happen. PACOM stands prepared to use our full range of military capabilities, if called on to do so. The DMZ is a strip of land running across the Korean peninsula near the 38th parallel, separating North Korea from South Korea. It was created in 1953 following the armistice which ended the North Korean War, or the Korean War. The patrols came after officials and experts said a small earthquake near North Korea's nuclear test site on Saturday was probably not man-made, easing fears Pyongyang had exploded another nuclear bomb just weeks after its last one. Reversing its original assessment, China's earthquake administration said the quake was not a nuclear explosion and had the characteristics of a natural tremor. While the U.S. has flown similar sorties before, according to the aviationist, the show of force is a bit more interesting than usual for 4 reasons. Quote, "It is the farthest north of the demilitarized zone any U.S. fighter or bomber aircraft have flown off North Korea's coast in the 21st century. 2, unlike all previous ones, the latest sortie was flown at night, hence it was not a show of force staged to take some cool photographs. 3, no Allied aircraft is known to have taken part in the mission at the time of writing, whereas most of the previous B-1 missions near the Korean Peninsula involve also Rokov, Republic of Korea Air Force, and or JASDF, Japan's Air Self-Defense Force jets. 4, it was a U.S. Air Force job. No U.S. Marine Corps F-35B stealth jet took part in the show of force this time. Even the short takeoff vertical landing variant of the Joint Strike Fighter has taken part in all the most recent formations sent over Korea to flex muscles against Pyongyang. The photo here below shows the package assembled for September 14th show of force." And check out the NFL commissioner's hypocrisy on Trump's statement. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has had his own hypocrisy exposed in a new analysis from the Independent Journal Review. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell called out President Trump on Saturday for his comments on players who kneel during the national anthem at football games. At a campaign rally for Senator Luther Strange in Alabama on Friday, the president took direct aim at NFL owners who are letting the protests go unchecked. "We're proud of our country. We respect our flag. Wouldn't you love to see one of our NFL owners, when someone disrespects our flag, just say, 'Get that son of a bitch off the field right now. He's fired.'" And the crowd roared. Now, the commissioner has responded in a public statement tweeted out by the league's vice president of communications, Brian McCarthy, to the president's call to fire players over the protest. I had something to say. You know what's going on? Could it be that the NFL lack of attendance by Patriots moved over to Donald Trump's stadium and screamed and yelled when they heard, "Get that SOB off the field right now"? Could it be that they're not going to the NFL games to not watch Colin Kaepernick and the rest of these buffoons do this? And they're going over to see Donald Trump say this? I think so. Now, the commissioner has responded in a public statement tweeted out by the league's vice president of communications, Brian McCarthy, to the president's call to fire players over the protests. The NFL and our players are at our best when we help create a sense of unity in our country and our culture. There is no better example than the amazing response from our clubs and players to the terrible natural disasters we've experienced over the last month. Then he accused the president of being divisive. Divisive comments like these demonstrate an unfortunate lack of respect for the NFL, our great game, and all of our players, and a failure to understand the overwhelming force for good our clubs and players represent in our communities. But they don't have any lack of respect for the flag or this country, do they? No. Goodell isn't appreciating how divisive the national anthem protests are to the millions of Americans who loved ones fought and died in wars to protect the flag. He also isn't respecting the belief of many that the flag and the national anthem come before everyone's differences and that paying respect to it is the ultimate expression of national loyalty and unity. How about all the prisoners of war? How about all the retired, armed forces? What do you think? What is Goodell saying to them? He's disrespecting them because they fought for our freedom. That flag is a symbol of freedom. Instead, Goodell is merely confirming what many have suspected all along, that the NFL is giving players a pass on the national anthem protests because of the social justice warrior nature. If players were protesting against Obamacare on behalf of any conservative cause, then this discussion would have ended a long time ago, and it definitely would have resulted in some firings. And that is the blatant truth. Just in, they sentenced him for spreading HIV. A former college wrestler has been sentenced to 10 years for spreading HIV. A former Missouri college wrestler has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for infecting another man with HIV and endangering 4 other sexual partners. Michael Johnson, 25, was sentenced Thursday after reaching a plea deal. Just thinking of sodomy just makes me sick. Michael Johnson, 25, was sentenced Thursday after reaching a plea deal. He should have been sentenced for 50 years. Johnson, also referred to as Tiger Mandingo. Anyone who has sex with another man and he knows he's going to die and he has HIV, well, HIV is not AIDS, but still, they need more than 10 years in prison. I'm sorry. Johnson, also referred to as Tiger Mandingo in some news reports, initially was ordered to serve 30 years after a 2015 conviction, but an appeals court tossed the guilty verdict, finding that trial court erred in admitting jail recordings that weren't disclosed to Johnson's attorneys in advance. The tapes were used to cast doubt on Johnson's claim that he disclosed he was HIV positive to his sex partners. Disgusting. And out of that, I have to go back to God's word. If your brother sins against you, Matthew 18:15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Now, this is interesting because a lot of people have said, hey, Jim, why don't you go to Scotty Clark or anyone else alone before you talk bad about them. He didn't trespass against me. That's why. It's not about me. This is called rebuking and reproving the false teachers. Okay? And we make it publicly known to make sure that everyone knows about it. I care about your souls. Not just getting even with Scotty Clark or anyone else, a false teacher. That's not my objective. It's not about getting even at all. It's not vindictiveness. It's not anger. It's called love for the souls that are practicing a cult called astrology. You can't do that. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever shall ye bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst. Thank you for listening. All right, folks, you need to take a look at this. If you're like me, you're sick and tired of feeding the cable company for your TV anywhere between $50 to $250 per month, then this is the answer for you. With this device right here, Tiger Stream, it's going to change the game altogether. This is a streaming device that puts up to 4K resolution and can give you every program your cable company like Comcast gives you, all for no cost to you per month. A one-time payment for the device without a monthly bill. Do I have your interest yet? Okay, so if you want this thing, this is exactly what you're going to get. You get the receiver box, power cord, HDMI cable, the Power Stream remote control, and here's how simple it is to operate. Plug in the power cord, connect the HDMI cable from the Tiger Stream box to the back of your HD TV, and that's it. As for the menu and features and all of the options, you really can't get any more simple. The reason I'm promoting this is because I know it's an incredible game-changing device that's going to eliminate your monthly cable bill and satellite. Ordering movies from places like this, and buying content from places like this and this will be a thing of the past. You're going to have access to any TV show or movie that's ever been produced since the 1930s. Just search for whatever you want and have Tiger Stream dip into the flowing waters of the internet. Grab some popcorn and relax, knowing you just legally poke the media giants right in the eye with the free market device that utilizes the power of the tool you already have, the internet. So how much is it? And how do you get your hands on one? The one-time price is $399. But if you use this product code, which is also found in the link below this video, you'll get $70 off and the satisfaction that you're supporting this channel. And for those of you who are thinking $399 is a lot of money, then just take out your monthly cable bill and add up how much it will be in 1 year. The average cable bill in America is roughly $100 per month. That means after 4 months, you will have paid off your Tiger Stream, but with the reduced price, it'll be even less than that. So don't wait any longer. Today is the day to start saving. Guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Please take the time to share it with others so they can eliminate their cable and satellite bill as well. I really believe with Tiger Stream, we can give the corporate bigwigs a big black eye and score some big points for liberty too. I'll see you folks in the next video. Folks, this country is under major attack of free speech. If you enjoy what you hear on my channel and like to continue to support free speech, I do have a PayPal button on the right side of my banner on my main channel YouTube page. Please remember, my channel and ministry is supported by great people like you. I love you all, and may the Lord bless.